Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me taxitude honey.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Oh yeah, we're doing it again. It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
On the couch. We haven't seen this guy. I feel like it's been an extremely long time.
Since last year.
Since we've, but I mean, I feel like even months before that, I've missed this person.
I agree.
I know many people have actually asked if he was going to be back. The last time this person was on the program, he was sadder than he's ever been. There was a Reddit thread about how sad you were. Did you know that?
No. Really?
Yeah. There's a Reddit thread about it. Ladies and gentlemen, from the karateoforlando.com,
Yes.
our very good friend, Mr. Seth Petruzelli.
You know how many people that are poor and fat and happy as hell?
So happy.
And that are happy that Seth, who's rich and fit, is so sad.
Yeah, so sad. That's sad. And look at him. Look at him right now. I mean, if we're looking for the update.
Beautiful family.
Oh, my God. The most beautiful family.
Yeah. Rich. He's got an 8-pack.
A mansion, an 8-pack, a mansion, vampire mansion, double mansions, right?
You keep saying rich, but I appreciate that.
Rich,
I
vampire
did-
mansion, waterside mansion, beautiful wife, beautiful daughter.
And I dug myself in a deep hole.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've created a prison here. We've created a bit of an audio prison here.
So before we start, because we got a lot to
My
talk to
family
Seth
asked me
about.
not talk to him last night because they're like, you can't stop making jokes. They're like, stop talking.
The Science Center is doing their annual Science on Tap Beer Fest, January 25th.
And it's a good beer fest. It's
It's
not
awesome,
like
man.
ours. They have signs and it's in a nice field.
Yeah. And I mean, it's high quality.
It is.
And so you can get your tickets at osc.org. Daniel and I will be out there. I know other people from Real Radio always go out there. So come meet us for that.
You can sign up to be a member. I also like that Tom doesn't know any of the people that are still employed by Real Radio. So he just says, some of the other Real Radio people will be out there.
Sabrina will be out there.
Back
I
to
don't
you,
know.
Seth. Back to you.
I don't know their deal.
I don't know what they're doing.
And then also that weekend, they're our wives, Tracy, they're organizing a side chicks meetup at Fair Villa.
Yes.
And you have to be a side chick to be invited. So the only stipulations is you BDM and you're female. You can get in the side chicks group and find out all the information.
What are they doing?
They're
What are they doing over
What the hell are they doing?
It's the BDM side chicks sucking contest. Who is the best?
No, they're not doing that.
It's the BDM side chicks sucking contest.
No.
Who sucks the best?
No, they're doing like a.
Hold on, I'm doing a TikTok dance. Hold on. Film it. You're filming
It's not
this,
a contest. It's like a Fair Villa University kind of
Oh God!
class
They put the
about
condom on with the mouth on the cucumber.
I love that.
Oh,
Maybe they're
Why aren't they?
like that black lady video. Remember the black lady? Remember that thing?
Someone take a video of Tracy doing that. I'm sorry. So
I think I
Seth.
got a video of my Tracy doing.
So Seth.
Yes.
Okay. I texted you the other day when we were scheduling, the guests on Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you want to come in this date or whatever? You didn't text me back.
Huffing and puffing over here.
Because I just know what I'm gonna have to get into right now. It's just a lot.
Yeah, you didn't text me back for like a couple days. And
There's
I'm
a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot going on.
Is it something that maybe you're inflating in your mind?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe.
Let's get into it. Let's dig in. Let's dig in.
But possibly not. Like, I don't know.
Let's dig in. Let's try to help.
I don't know.
So you text me back.
too, if it helps, I'll go first right now, just so the listeners know, because they get sick of hearing my shit. I am going through a bit of a hypochondriac episode where I think that my kidneys are failing. I have cirrhosis of the liver. I have stomach cancer, and it's moving through my intestines.
Does it matter that you thought this before?
Yes.
And you remember?
I've thought this for the last 20 years, I believe. With you. You've seen me.
And you never go back and be like, oh, maybe this is all just part of the hypochondria.
Never.
Because
I never think
I've
of
thought it over and over, and it's always been fine.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to ask Seth the same question. Do you ever, because you've had tons of tests, and they all come back that you're perfectly healthy. So, do you ever think of those tests? Is it ever reassuring? You and I are going to say the same answer at the same time. Is it ever reassuring, those tests?
No.
No.
Not at all.
The answer is no.
Not at all.
No. And do we ever think of them? If you want to know if Seth and I ever think of it, don't even, you know what? Fuck you. Don't ever ask it again. It's a dumb fucking question. We never think of it.
No.
In fact, the test only lasts for about 3 hours after you get the results.
Yeah.
And then after that 3 hours, you think of a new thing you think you have.
that or I second guess the test that I just recently took
Correct.
and say, no,
Correct answer.
I'm like, no, this guy did not do it right. This is something wrong with
You're
this.
on the board.
Yep.
Let's dig in.
Yep.
every morning I wake up, I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I definitely don't have cancer.
That's the exact opposite of what we have.
I'm not dying of anything.
You have the opposite. You have the exact opposite.
I'm pretty
of what
healthy.
we have. Yeah.
Anyway,
Not bad.
So what happened, Seth?
So I tried to do what you guys tell me to time. I just think that it's my hypochondria, think it's my anxiety, think it's my, just stress or whatever. This is beginning of October this started, I think.
October?
My
Yes.
God, you've been letting
Yes.
it go. And
Oh,
it
no,
only
it's
takes
been-
a couple of months for cancer to eat you alive.
I don't think it's cancer this time. I think it's something else. But okay, long story short, you
Autoimmune?
know how stressed I've
Oh, I
been.
forgot that. I think I have autoimmune. And I don't even really know what that is.
I got
But it's auto and it's immune.
Beginning of October, you know how stressed I've been, new house. I
Yeah.
was there at the house trying to get all these things in order.
The
like working with
waterside mansion,
subcontractors.
not the vampire mansion.
I was
Oh,
at
but-
the water.
but all
I was
that's-
at Vera Manor.
It's all
They call
work.
it Vera Manor.
Vera Manor.
Vera Manor
So-
is the lake.
All
That's
that's
true.
worked itself out now, and everything's fine, right?
With what?
I'm joking.
The lake house.
No, absolutely
The
not.
lake house. Did you see how I cued the one shot? I was like going for the zoom, cue the one shot, and get
No.
get the reaction.
Oh, sorry, I brought it up. Okay. So October, you think something's wrong. What do you think's wrong?
I have guys
What, you
there.
got a lump? You got what? You got cysts?
I'm
You got cysts?
gonna try to go fast at this. I was
Don't
on the
go fast. Like we got to stretch it out. We got a show to do.
Okay. Well, I got to leave at 1:30.
Oh, okay.
I was on the phone. I had people there dealing with them. I'm on the phone with other subcontractors. The whole months before, I've been stressed about even getting the house, going through the mortgage to get it, trying to sell mine, still trying to sell mine. Super stressed. On the phone, all of a sudden, my hand just started going. and I couldn't stop shaking.
Oh, shit. You got the Michael J. You got the
That-
Michael
yeah,
J.
that's the sweet
Parkinson's.
tooth.
You got the Michael J.
So I
Yeah.
started.
Wait a minute. Were you doing the hang loose Hawaii? Because there
Well,
is
that's
a-
I'm holding the phone.
That's called
Hang
dog
on.
the bounty hunter disease.
Oh, actually, okay, so it was like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so her hands start
Yeah.
shaking.
Hands started shaking
You
back.
got
So I
the
was like,
Mitch
oh.
McConnell.
I'm like, okay, look. Normally I would be like, I'm dying right away, but I was like,
What?
look, I'm stressed.
Why are you laughing? I want to know.
That's all right. I
You got the Mitch McConnell.
I just find it so funny. I don't know why when people think they're
I'm
dying.
even laughing, and I suffer from the
not-
disorder.
it's horrible.
I'm even laughing, and I
Well,
suffer from
the
this.
reason why it's
You
so
know,
funny.
I've had this. You got to go to a neurologist.
It's the scariest.
That's my main. I've been
'Cause
there
you know
every
what they're
week-
gonna do?
every week for
They're gonna
2
scan
months.
your brain, and they're gonna see that you're gonna see your skull, and then there's gonna be these black blotches on there.
They saw something. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
what
and
they
when
saw.
they see,
right.
I'll pass out.
Okay,
I'll
all
pass
right.
out. You
So-
got to tread lightly on this.
so your hand shaking and
Yeah.
you're like, what?
Handshaking. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's just my stress. I'm super anxiety ridden. It's just that. That's all it is. So a week went by, another week went by. I'm like, oh, it's not. It's there, but it's not there. It's kind of.
Are you able to do karate? Or are you
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
when you
no.
punch, are you like, oh?
No, it's not. It's not
You're like a
that bad.
shaky punch.
But then I noticed that, like, say if I lean my arm against something, I noticed that my tricep started to get like a little shaky and kind of weak. And
You know,
quivery.
I've done this. This is exactly what I did. This is exactly what I did when I went to the neurologist.
Okay.
I've done this exact. Yeah, when you lean like this, like when you put a little weight on it,
It goes-
you'll get like it, and you're.
It'll tremor, yeah, but it'll feel.
Now,
weak
I'd
as
love
well.
to tell you that's perfectly normal because it is. But at the same time, I thought, well, obviously, this neurological disorder
Yeah.
started in my hand and it's now working its way to my brain.
I have tricep cancer.
So after that, I'm gonna really fast forward. There's all sorts of symptoms that just started happening.
Everything.
I freaked out a little bit. I called the neurologist, like, hey,
What kind of symptoms though?
I need. I'll tell you. So after the tricep started feeling weak and shaky, I called the neurologist, booked an appointment. It was like a week and a half later. Something as soon as I can get in. She also booked blood tests that I had 6 months before because I was seeing her before for just things. Another blood test. So after I booked the appointment, I started getting this. I don't even know how to describe it. Like when I lay
Visions. You have visions?
like when I lay in bed, or even any time. My migraines have been off.
I
the
want like
charts.
an old Asian man to come to you as a vision. I want that.
Well, that'd be cool.
That would be badass.
Okay, migraines.
Migraines, but not just that. My face felt like little hands were like pushing in my, sticking my
That's
muscles.
your
with
baby.
pins.
You have a baby, son. Your baby's slapping your face. She's so cute. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to smooch her back, smooch her face when she
no,
does.
just-
Get
If
it
a
together,
little-
old man.
When little babies are squishing your cheeks, you go, oh, hi, Vera. And you.
The muscles were like ripping my face apart.
Now,
it
are
felt like.
you telling Tracy about this?
You
At
can
first-
never tell Tracy.
at first
She's
I did
too
not.
attractive to tell something that ridiculous.
At
to.
first I did not, and then she started knowing because I couldn't hold my crying back any longer.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens to me. That's what happens to me. Andrea's like, are you crying?
Yeah. So,
I'm like, yeah.
so that started happening. I started getting these weird feelings on my leg. My legs started feeling numb,
Yeah.
pain, like numb. It felt like somebody stuck a needle in my legs and injected Novocaine in my thighs, like numb. I got up one day.
Well, you know what that feels like.
I got up the night that I
I
lost.
do know what that feels like. It feels like an epidural or something,
Yeah.
like when I got the hip injections.
The night that I really lost it, that was the worst. Was 3 a.m. I got up to go to the bathroom and I fucking couldn't walk. Like I felt like I was gonna fall. I couldn't walk. I felt like I was gonna fucking fall down. My legs were numb. They hurt. Not much hurt, but more numb. And I just started crying and freaking out. Tracy had to come.
I'm sorry. I've done this too. I've done this.
I knew
This is
that.
exactly
That's
what
why I
I
said
do.
this is gonna be a lot.
Listen,
And
let me
I'm
help you
doing
out.
this, and I'm bearing my soul
trade
for
you.
the sake of this
Let
goddamn
me trade
fucking
you.
podcast.
Let me trade you. Fuck the podcast. Let me trade you one because it's important
Because
to
it's
do this.
embarrassing, yes. But
It is embarrassing. Let me trade you one. I have cried while I
Tom,
wrap-
shut the fuck up.
I have cried while I wrapped my hand in toilet paper and picked up my own doo-doo to check the color of it.
Okay.
Okay?
That's-
I've actually held a turd log and I'm looking at it while I'm crying.
Right.
I just want to make sure I'm trading with him. I don't want him to storm out of here. We're doing some good here, man. We're doing some good here.
So she's holding me, saying everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Aren't you
Okay,
embarrassed?
Is
this
she
is
laughing
fuck
at
yes,
all?
but this
Is
is
she
why.
laughing at all?
Look,
Is
I'm
she
not
laughing?
crying.
She's not laughing.
She's not laughing.
Is she very compassionate?
Yeah, of course she's.
God damn, Andrea. Sometimes I'll be like, oh fuck this shit again.
But she knows.
Like, I see it. Andrea sometimes I don't get that anymore.
Well,
and you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. Yeah, we're further down the road.
Yeah, battle hard.
I'm further down the road. You got to be careful with that because you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna get like Andrea. Because Andrea now will be like, oh god, this fucking shit. You can see it in her face. And I'm crying. I'm holding a turd. I'm crying.
She kicks the turd out of her hand.
Hold on, is that her crying? Or somebody calling? Somebody's calling.
841-4823 to opt out.
Oh, this is your doctor calling with your test results.
Yeah, probably.
So you can't walk. You're dragging yourself.
Yeah, I had to get back in bed. I'm freaking out. I had to take a half a Xanax to try to calm down. I hate taking that, but I had to. And then that weekend we were going down to visit her family. We took Vera down there. On the ride down, then new symptoms started happening. Like halfway through the ride, my legs felt like there were pins and needles. There was jabs. It was like spiders everywhere. It fucking hurt. Just all sorts of fucking crazy symptoms with my legs. The whole time I'm freaking out. Like trying to hold it back.
Are you crying?
Like, on the way down? No. On the way back, I fucking, for 3.5 hours from Cape Coral to Orlando, I cried the entire fucking ride home.
Wow.
So she's in the back trying to like relax me.
That's a lot of discipline.
Let's write these symptoms down. Spider legs, baby face.
That's the name of the show, is the old spider legs baby face.
That night I got home from driving and it looked like a fireworks show going off in my calves. Like I'm talking like it's called vesticulations or muscle twitching. Everywhere, like pop, 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 like lightning show going off in my calves, like fucking crazy.
All right,
like
write down
nuts.
lightning calves.
I like that actually better. I actually prefer lightning calves
and this whole time
to baby face.
Baby hands face.
And why I was upset was because I, of course, as soon as it started happening, I started Googling, and immediately took me to ALS, like immediately.
God damn it! I did the exact same thing. And ALS is the one you go to, yeah.
And ALS is the absolute. I'm going to and when this is over, I'm already planning on donating a large amount of money to the ALS Foundation because people with that.
I don't have hypochondria that much.
No, I do.
I don't have it
because
that
I'm
much.
so fucking feel so bad.
First, I got to pour a bucket of water on your head because that's the other way to donate.
I know that's the other way.
Ice.
Oh, whatever.
Not just a bucket of water. Pay attention.
I was 100% convinced that's what it was. That's
How do you feel about stress manifesting itself?
No,
because I've been told.
Yes, it could, of course, and it can make it worse. But this type of symptom.
I believe it's medically. I believe there is real science behind
psychosomatic.
The phrase. Well, I am a somatoform. I'm diagnosed. It's in my chart.
Right.
But there's science behind a doctor told me this one time about how stress. It's documented that just stress blanket, right, covers a lot of shit. It can emulate any symptom.
Right.
It doesn't matter because your mind is what's in control of it. So stress can emulate. It could, whether you're bleeding. I had a friend who his dad would get so stressed out. He was a high-ranking businessman. He would sweat blood. You know, I had like that's a real that's stuff.
Yeah, Google that.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't have that. But what I'm saying is, think of all the stuff you're kind of like multiple businesses, double houses, in over your head a little bit, like. You know, and not giving yourself any grace at all, still setting that bar way high for yourself, perfectionism, still maintaining the diet, the workout. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on, dude.
Also,
cut yourself some fucking slack.
Excessive exercise for an old man will cause muscle twitching.
That is true.
That is true. When I was training for this half marathon, I'd wake up.
Oh, you freaked out that one time.
I got I would get like finger twitching. So like my finger would twitch like sweet tooth, and then I was like, of course there's. If you look at ALS and Parkinson's and stuff but if you look at like, oh, what have I been doing? Oh, training a lot? Yes, that's a symptom of training a lot.
And your hair fell out. What the fuck happened there? No, I'm kidding. You look good. All things considering, you look good.
So I went to the after all this, all these symptoms, went to the neurologist. Yep. Immediately, the neurologist hasn't seen me except for the last time where I wasn't crying to her.
Oh, yeah. It's tough. I do that too. You cry to the doctors?
She's trying to calm me down.
Do you ever have the pause? You'll like this part. Do you ever cry when you're crying to the doctors? Because I've done it. I don't think as much as you have, but I have done it. Do you ever have the scenario where you're crying and then they're like, oh, yeah, maybe I need to give you a blowjob. Like, cheer you up. You ever had this?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's
Like a fantasy? No one here.
I don't think women get horny about a man crying about his fake.
I don't know.
ALS.
Well, the way things are going, like things are changing, Tom.
I don't know if that makes him horny.
The macho man is out. The women, they like these. They like the weaker, scallopy men.
But you guys got to understand, now it's not about me anymore. Like, I can give a shit. Like before it was, I didn't want to die. Like, fuck that.
Sure.
But now, I don't want to die. It's not for me. I don't give a fuck. Kill me.
Yeah.
It's about not being there for Vera. Like that. See?
Are you gonna cry again?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the camera off.
Hold
on.
No, I'm serious. Like that.
Hold on, I'll put up the lobby
Yeah,
cam.
I
putting
know.
up the
I'm
lobby
trying not
cam.
to get upset, but I'm
it's
being
fine.
serious right now. Like that thought, like fucking, that's what sends me over the edge. Is just think about not being there for her and not having a dad in her life. You know?
Yeah.
So these things are just multiplied by that. Like, it wouldn't be as bad, I guess, if it was just by myself. But knowing that Vera might be without me for some reason is devastating. Like, it's just horrible. So that's why I was getting so upset. And sorry, I'm not so.
I think I'm a rung lower than Seth because the thought of Maisie being without me never crosses my mind. I'm like, oh shit, I'm dead. No, I don't want to die. No, I don't want to die.
I mean, the last time this happened, I doubled my life insurance, like, for this reason.
Right.
Seth,
the last time this happened, Andrea doubled our life insurance.
Seth is earning his hundo today.
Yeah.
He's coming in with an
You're
embarrassing
better
story.
actor than Jerry Jones.
You're crying.
I'm not,
So
I just very, I don't know.
I know. No. Dude, you have a baby.
Okay.
Things have changed. You got more skin in the game.
Yeah.
Again, take a piece of paper, write down every fucking thing you have going on. It's too much.
Yep.
You gotta ease up a little bit.
So
the doctor blood tested me,
okay.
gave me an MRI.
Do they tell you
Gave me
right
an
off the bat, like, I don't think this is that?
No, she
Mine
said-
did. And it did help a lot. Like, my guy, he's like a tough-ass Texas guy, and he was like, you might have some sort of benign, or what is it, an essential tremor or something. I don't think so. I think this is all nerves. I think it's all in your head.
Yeah.
I think you probably need to cut back on, whatever you're doing and probably just need to ease up and you need to lose some weight, Porky.
I think your doctor's Don Fry.
Yeah, it's kind of saying, you get a little bit of that.
So, no, I mean, yeah, actually, that we're saying because of the blood test I took. So 6 months ago, I took a blood test. My B6 was 7 times over the normal limit. Not a lot of doctors know about this. Luckily, my neurologist is very up to date on B6 toxicity. It causes every single symptom I have, causes every single one of those: muscle twitching, muscle weakness, all sorts of every issue you can think of. It's a neurotoxin. It fucks it gives you peripheral neuropathy.
7 times?
7 times the normal amount.
So you had, if I'm doing my math, you had a 42?
Is that no? It's the
Sorry,
actual name of it.
So
Don't laugh at that. Nobody
was,
laugh at that.
That was 6 months ago, and I knew that. And I really wasn't having too much happening back 6 months ago. I didn't think about it, so I just kept on doing what I was doing. The multivitamin I took was incredibly, it's like a super high potency liquid multivitamin.
B6 blaster.
It's literally like this big, and it cost $100 a bottle. It's ridiculous. So 6 months ago was high, and then I got the blood test back a week before I saw her. I stopped the multivitamin, took the blood test again, and it was still 5 times high because I just stopped it. It was 5 times as high. When I went to her, she did all the tests, MRI, EMG, which is the big one that tests for ALS. Well, there's no test for ALS, but that kind of rules it out. And negative upper and lower body EMG, which relieved me at first, but then of course my mind went back to it. And
I've had all of this, by the way. Like everything you say, I don't want to like really out myself too much.
Test you for ALS?
Oh, absolutely. And like when he says there's no test for ALS, bingo. Yeah. I mean, that's why you have to try to narrow down other things that it is. Yeah.
Right. And she said, she's like, Seth, she's like, your B6 is off the charts. She's like, everything you're saying is B6 related. There's other people that have this, that have the same exact symptoms. You're toxic. You have B6 toxicity. You need to stop your supplements, and then come back and see me, and whenever like in 3 months or 2 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I noticed you looked less supplemented.
So I immediately
didn't you notice you looked less supplemented?
I knew your health routine would kill you one day.
Yeah.
That's
that's what Jago said. Jago said I'm too fucking healthy, and it made myself sick.
And he's a big fat piece of shit.
But
No, I love that guy.
I've heard for
I like. picking on everybody today.
a long time that vitamins are bullshit.
I have
and,
too.
and you shouldn't take them if you have a healthy diet. You don't need no goddamn vitamins.
Right.
Your body gets enough.
So I joined. I went on a Facebook and I was Google. I was researching everything.
Join a
and
mom's group.
I found a Facebook group with over 10,000 people, and I've read so many. Literally, weeks of just
What are you
reading.
doing?
everyone's
Ultra
stories and
MAGA
things.
group? What'd you join? What are you there swapping memes?
That's on my Finsta. I joined all those. Anyway, I'm reading all their stuff and all their symptoms. There's some people that are bedridden and in wheelchairs because they have so much weakness.
I'm gonna be in a wheelchair.
So many things, and it made me feel better that fuck, maybe this actually is. So it's calming me down a little bit, helped me realize that probably this is what it is, because other people are experiencing the same exact shit.
The wheelchair
But,
is calming you down.
You know what?
no,
I'm not
but it's-
the only one.
But what I'm saying is, I even was saying when I was going through this, when I didn't know,
Nobody understands.
I was saying, put me in a wheelchair for life. Give me cancer, at least I can fight it. With ALS, like there's nothing to do. Nothing.
That's a horrible attitude. Put me in a wheelchair, give me cancer for life. Who says that?
I'm saying if that's the alternative. I mean, if I have to be sick, give me a sickness where I can at least see Vera grow up. Not one where I'm going to be dead in 2 years and be in a.
What kind of wheelchair would you have?
I think the ice water
really
extended the time to like 4 years, though.
Yeah.
Like all the ice water racing
It's
the
all-
money,
it's all different.
you get
People are
a good
different.
Yeah.
6 years out.
Yeah.
So
So I
Good
went to
for
my
inflammation.
went to my primary care too to talk to him about it, to say this is what my neurologist thinks. He agrees, and I brought up the ALS, and he goes, Seth, and this is what stuck with me and makes me every time I freak out, I think of this saying that he said. He's like, Seth, he's like, you're coming to me complaining about a headache with an arrow stuck in your head, and you're telling me you have brain cancer. He's like, you're telling me you have symptoms. This blood test shows why you have these symptoms. This is the culprit. But you're telling me there's something totally different and something that's way less statistically possible.
That's like a nice way of him saying, I'm the doctor, you fucking MMA fighter.
Pretty much. I
Right?
guess, I
Yeah.
guess.
Like, I went to school for this. Like, I know what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Right.
And that should make you feel better that
It
he
does.
has
But
the-
after I stopped, symptoms are getting worse because the way that people describe it all talking, it's called recoil, rebound. Like it's out of your blood possibly in about a month, but then it's stored in your muscles and you have to work it out of your muscles. And people are like this for like, people are in there 2 years still having like symptoms, like not as bad, but they're still having it. It takes a while.
We have somebody
Yeah,
who
right.
deals with this real time in the chat room. Bashley says her boyfriend or husband has ALS, and he has lived
God.
for more than 10 years since his diagnosis, and she's
Wow,
not
that's-
giving me any indication that.
well, hold on. Seth doesn't have ALS. He took too much B6, and
No,
he's
no,
got
I know,
shaky
but
feet.
but like she's saying, even if you
Oh,
had
wow.
it, it's not a death sentence,
Wow.
you know, like, and I think that most things are that
that's
way now.
very, very rare. Like majority is 2 to 4 years. That's a slow progression.
Wow,
There's
I
different
mean-
versions.
Here's why
Good
this
job.
is all funny. Okay, let me explain.
We did go down a dark road.
Let me
That's a dark
explain.
road.
And because and we've talked about hypochondria a lot. I've seen Daniel deal with it for as long as
Oh
I've
yeah,
known
it
him.
sucks.
Is that when you have hypochondria, you often go to the worst case scenario, like ALS, like cancer, any death sentence, right?
Yep.
And
The outliers.
then you believe it to be 100% true just as much as the person that has it, right? So you go through the same fear of dying,
Yeah.
all the fear of leaving your family and
Yeah.
your kids.
Now, that
whatever.
part is real.
You
Yeah,
know,
you're right.
You know, that feeling.
It's authentic.
You feel
Yes.
the same way that the person feels that got diagnosed with cancer. The fear, which is the worst feeling in the world, knowing that your life could be cut shorter than you thought,
Sure.
or knowing your terminal disease or whatever. So the feeling's the same, but it's you're fine.
Right.
And that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
not dying.
It's torturous too. Yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah.
just think you
And it's a
are.
time
and it's the
suck.
But there's
same.
always this in the back of my head that I'm still correct, and I'm going to see her in like two weeks. In 2 more weeks, I see her, and that'll be 4 months since I first started feeling. And the longer this
How do you feel
goes,
now?
the better. It's better. I'm still having shit happen, but it's not as bad. So that makes me feel better. Usually, if they ALS, it gets bad and it doesn't get better.
See, what Andrea does,
think, I'm pretty
to
sure.
me, sometimes is like when she gets mad. I mean, like, I'm making jokes. I mean, she's a very compassionate person, the most. But, you know, where sometimes she does, like, maybe tough talk me, I will get you do realize that your MRIs, Dan, or you worrying about something that we've done and we've been down that road before is taking time away from your daughter now.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so, and I'm not saying you're doing
No,
that, but
I
I
am,
know
and I knew I
Andrea
wasn't-
said that to me 100%,
No.
and I feel guilty about
And I felt
it.
like shit not being as present as I can because I
Right.
wanted to wake up and I have a couple hours to like play with her, go outside, but I was just so anxiety ridden. I wasn't there for. I was doing it, but I was just like staring in the distance, worrying about
Because you're worried, yeah.
me dying and
Oh,
not
I
being
know.
there for her. So
I
I
know.
felt I haven't felt present for the past 3 months for Tracy or Vera, and it makes me feel like shit. So,
No therapy? You're not doing
so
doing
that's
any?
another. My neurologist gave me the number to a really good therapist. I called him and like, yeah, we're booked until July. I go, fuck, and I hung up the phone. It's exactly what I fucking did.
They love it when you
I
do that.
screamed fuck and I hung up.
They love it when you
Because
do that.
she's like, this is a great person for what you're going through.
Oh, this guy's going to be perfect for you. Oh, my God.
But now I feel like I should have done it because it would have been 4 months into waiting for that appointment, and I should have fucking done it.
Yeah. You can call him back and say, excuse me, I'm the fuck
I'm
guy.
the fuck guy.
I scream fuck at you.
Just start taking the stress blocker or whatever the goddamn antidepressant
Yeah.
or whatever.
She gave me an
It's
anti.
the Talipram.
Yeah. Are you on that now, too?
Yeah, she gave me that.
What do you say? What do you
Your
think?
brain is just releasing
Yeah.
the goddamn stress chemical, and it's your fight or flight's off.
Yeah,
It's
my
a chemical
cortisol, my
imbalance.
cortisol was high too. My stress hormone was high when I tested that recently. So,
God, man.
Yeah,
So and
stressing.
then my MRI. So back to the MRI real fast. MRI. She's like, everything's fine with MRI. They did notice the white things or something like that, but she's like, that's migraine. She says that looks migraine related. So if you have migraines, that's what people see.
Oh,
you
the
see
little
that.
white things on there. Yeah, that's nothing to worry about. I saw those too. Now, what you're going to do, because I've done this before, you're going to see the picture of your skull and your
I
brain.
didn't even look at it because I didn't want to.
Okay, but if you do, if you decide to, I can tell you I was going to go down because I've done it. You're going to look at it. You're going to see the little white things. Immediately, you're going to think, well, the white things are obviously cancer or
MS.
or
Usually they'll
MS
leave
or brain cells dying, and that's the portions of my body that will be shutting down.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. Sometimes it could be something as simple as the film just didn't. It's not a good picture of your
right.
brain. You know, like.
You know what we've done too nowadays because of technology?
But you know better, and you're going to think it's cancer or something.
Yeah.
I just want to insist that,
We've made it worse for hypochondriacs nowadays. You'd think it'd be better because we have access to
No.
quicker medical care.
Monday
and
I
like
have
blood
this.
tests.
On
and
Monday
stuff.
I have this. I'm dreading Tuesday because I'm going to have my results in the middle of the night.
Yes,
And I'm going to be waking up to knowing
Yeah,
I'm
when I
dying.
was
They-
doing, when I was doing that, waiting for blood tests is the absolute worst.
They give the results to hypochondriacs.
They shouldn't do that.
They email it to you. Also, your MRIs and whatever. Like here they are, and then you're like, your doctor's appointment is 2 months from now.
Yeah.
And then that hypochondriac starts looking at brain MRIs and things they have no. Like this person works at Sears, and they're looking at their brain MRIs, then googling what tumors look like, and then trying to look at it and be like, they look the same. These
And
little
trust
dots.
me when I tell you,
You're like, what are you
the
doing?
websites know that people do this, so they put the worst photos on the websites to get your clicks, and they're farming your
fucking-
hypochondria. They're farming
I didn't
the
think
fact.
about that actually.
No, they are. They're farming your hypochondria. They know that when you search hemorrhoids, there are people that know, like, hey, just make sure you put ass cancer in there somewhere,
Right.
so you get all of those pictures and put a horrible photo on there. And people like you and me go there, and we lay in our beds crying, looking at a big ass cancer, and it has nothing to do with the hemorrhoid we have. Don't do it, man.
Yeah.
Break the cycle. It ends today.
That was my heart. I Googled hard on this past one, and it was bad because I was doing good not doing it, and then all of a sudden I just did one thing, and it just popped up, and then I just went into a hole for for months.
You spiraled. Yeah, I do that. I
Months.
spiral.
Yeah,
That's what Andrea calls it.
Yeah, I spiraled bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Maybe it helped to get that off your chest. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're dealing with it. Tom loves
Hold
it.
on.
I love it a little bit too. It's very funny.
Do you say sorry you're dealing with something that is all in his own head?
But it's not. I really do have something in my body.
I do because I have it.
Yeah, but
I
hurts.
do because I have
feel
it.
like
You don't
nails are
have
being driven through my thighs sometimes, and I'm tweaking everywhere. My muscles are right now. My lat won't. It feels like I'm flying away because my lat just keeps going.
Yeah.
Now,
You know, I had twitching after my dad died right before I got married. Like it literally triggered my twitching. Maybe that'll help you
I mean,
too.
stress makes it worse.
I mean,
sure.
I was driving to my wedding. You know this, Tom. Like, I was driving to my wedding, and my hands, I could not get my hands to stop shaking. Like, I call it the buzzing. Yeah, man, it's stress. It's stress.
and the more you focus on it, the more you realize it's happening.
Yes, which makes it worse.
And then it just goes in this cyclical thing where you're like,
it's a perfect engine too.
I don't get enough sleep because of it, and then that makes it worse. Not getting enough sleep,
insomnia. Yep.
Yeah.
And so at this point now, that you figure out that you got some B6 deficiency, and
dude, I've been eating nothing but goat meat and lamb. I had to change my diet.
Wait I
had to change my diet.
Hold on a second.
Dude,
they're eating the dogs.
You have no idea how much B6 is in. I can't eat. I haven't had chicken in months. I haven't had steak. I've had maybe a little bit of steak in the past 2 months, maybe a bite or two.
Goats ain't got no B6.
Goat meat has no B6, and lamb has low B6. Shrimp have low B6. So I've changed my diet now from chicken, steak, and salmon, which I love salmon.
You eat like DJ Khaled
to
now.
shrimp, goat, and lamb. That's my main 3.
Well, it's probably just the supplements more than I know you're trying to take all of.
Yes, it is more the supplements.
Chat room says you got goat poisoning.
But there's a lot of people on the Facebook on the group community group that have gotten it from eating a large, like my diet, paleo diet. People have got it from eating a large amount of meat like that.
How is goat meat?
It's good. It's a little more dry than regular meat, but it tastes good. I like. It's not.
What's the flavor? It's not gamey.
It's not gamey. No, I don't think so.
I hate the gamey. Like I can't do lamb.
Really?
Lamb's too gamey for me.
Really?
Here's
I'm such a baby.
This is another negative toward hypochondriacs is the fact that not only do you get your blood results in an email, there are all these Facebook groups with ailments that are similar to yours that you join, and then now you get bombarded.
Yeah, by the saddest stories. Oh my God.
Yeah, by a group of hypochondriacs
who think they're doctors,
all diagnosing themselves and then talking about. I've seen these groups.
Oh yeah,
and
it is bad. My doctor said take it with a grain. He's like, take these with a grain of salt. He's like, some of these guys have way more things than going on than what that is.
Very low IQ. Some of these people literally the only reason they're on a computer is they can't stand like the whale.
No, but they're all like you. They're searching for other people to confirm what they
confirmation bias.
Yeah, and then now there's a group of people that are suffering the same ailments, and then all this group of people are like, my doctor says this, but I think this, and they're like, I think that too, so it must be right. It's just some guy,
right?
You know, like or girl, they have no idea. They're just saying they're the same hypochondria.
Especially if you're like an emotional or sensitive person, that stuff will latch onto you quicker. Right. So try to be less emotional about it too. That helps me.
But then every once in a while, Brett Favre gets Parkinson's. So, something like you're like, whoa.
Well, a lot of people think he deserves it. He's not well, you know what I mean? Like, he's not well liked.
Gave it to him.
He is not well liked, that man. Yeah. He stole money, right?
But he gave it
from like kids.
So God gave it to him and Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox didn't deserve nothing.
It makes me think that maybe Michael J. Fox stole money from kids too. I can't confirm that, but it makes me think that.
All right.
So take a little break?
Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about that new Vice documentary about Kimbo Slice that came out. I saw a bunch of BDMs posting the Seth.
I read an article on.
I was super anxiety. That was at the height of when I was freaking out.
Real quick, I read an article on Vice this morning that somebody threw on the BDM page about the girl that left her butt plug in, a metal butt plug in when she got an MRI.
What? Really?
And and I guess it was not I was like, woo-hoo-hoo.
Was it a stunt of some sort?
No, I don't know why. I guess some people, they leave them in. It's called anal training. You leave it in while you're doing like normal stuff.
Okay.
So that way, when you're ready to, I guess, to have your husband ram you, you're a little more
loose. It's like gauging your earlobes.
Yeah. Or stretching before a football game. Yeah, but. Anyway, I don't know what made me think about it, but like it didn't like fly out of her, start bouncing around the room, but she was like, like screaming.
Yeah, I bet. I was probably trying to go up higher, like the magnet just sucked
into
her guts.
I don't know, but I just, if anybody wants to read that, you may. The name of the band is, let me see here. This is Closer To. The name of the song is 47. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time right after this. Song for Mr. Seth Petruzelli.
Thanks.
That is I'm All Right When the War Is Over. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. So going back to the Vice documentary, I saw a bunch of BDMs posts like, oh, look at Seth's on this documentary.
Yeah.
And so I watched it. It's just about Kimbo, which is funny that so much has been made about Kimbo Slice. And it's interesting.
Larger than life character, right?
So, and one of the only that I could think of social media fighters that came out of YouTube. Like now there's like backyard fighters, right? That had that
I
type
can't
of.
name another one.
Yeah.
He's the guy for me.
Like,
I mean, like,
I know there's other MMA fighters that are popular on social media, but like it doesn't seem like after Kimbo there wasn't ever another
one. Yeah.
that popped up, and you would think that there would have been,
no.
but it just
I
not
still
as
remember
popular.
where I was when I first
saw it. Me too.
watched him. You and I were in the old Real Radio studio, and you showed it to me because you said you were tying it to you were like, oh, this is look what they're doing down in Miami. You were always telling me Miami tales, right? Like the show even knows that. Like you're forever going like, oh yeah, you got to see this. Look what they're doing. Look at these the dirt bike wheelie guys in Miami. Like so, you showed it to me. And I was like, "You're there," and I'm like, "What is it?" And you're like, "It's in the backyard. This is in Miami." I'm like, "What is happening?" And it was wild. Like they just to me, they just show up, they put him in the backyard, and bam, it's off to the races. I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, "How is this legal?"
I just opened my first gym, Knockout Fitness, right across the street from UCF. And we just set the computer up, and one of my students like, you got to watch this, and pulled it up on YouTube, and we just started watching it. I was like, what the hell is this crazy shit?
Yeah, where did you remember where you saw
We
it?
knocked a guy's eyeball out.
Yeah, do you
That's
remember
when I
where
think
you
we saw
maybe
it.
got it from, or
I
because
don't-
we didn't have an algorithm? So, do you think maybe one of your Miami friends said, or maybe Dre was like, check this out, or something? But it was. I remember that at Real Radio, and I remember thinking.
It was almost. It was like social media was around, but it
was
did
at
not.
the same time that we had Bang Bus. It was at the same time that we had bum fights. It was at the same time the internet. There was some pretty, it was like Gonzo style content, where they would just pull up and do something wild. It was sort
Yeah, it
of
was
new.
like Jackass.
Like Jackass stuff.
It did have a
Which
bit of Jackass.
probably
to
had
it.
direct influence from that culture.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
But anyway, when did they go to your dojo? Because I saw you recorded it in your dojo.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was 2 months. It was recent. It was 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. It was right when I first started feeling this. It was October, November, beginning of November.
Oh, so you were
So we
having
can
a
see
freak
you
out.
shake on camera.
I don't know if you could see online. I was like, my face was just drawn. My face was drawn, and I felt. When I looked at myself on there, I was like, oh man, I look like I'm.
So what was it like to fight Kembo? Oh, go. I'm sorry. Trying to make you laugh. Don't beat me up, bro. Don't tase me, bro.
So I watched a documentary. It's on YouTube real quick, and then it reminded me.
I also like that your first gym, what was it called? Knockout Fitness?
Knockout Fitness.
That's kind of horny. Right? Knockout, hot girls, big titties. Knockout.
Oh no! Okay,
Knockout. You could have had some lingerie trainers walking around there or something.
It reminded me how many dreams you ruined with that one punch because
I want to know the money on that.
they started talking about it killed the entire
The promotion
MMA.
was dead.
Well,
It killed
You
the
guys had a
storyline. The
little-
storyline was done.
What
You
was
guys had a little bit to do with that, by the way. It wasn't just the fact that I did that. It was the comments that were made from you fuckers asking me the question afterwards, after I had a night of partying, eating
The knockout
20,
bonus.
That wasn't
20
me.
tacos. It was one of you two. Yeah, it was. It was one of you two.
I'll take credit for it.
I kind of want
I
to.
don't think.
Okay. Hold on. This is like
What's that?
Biden and Trump. Who's taking credit for it? Get him
I bought TikTok. I brought it back. So yeah.
And many great calls. Many calls.
Because we asked you about the knockout.
Because you
bonus.
asked me about the knockout bonus, and that's when I kind of was like, whatever I said. I
I'm gonna say that was Carlos because I wasn't. I don't believe I was a big MMA. I don't think I was into it then.
So I started thinking about I've never personally ruined that many dreams. And Seth did, now not on purpose. Obviously, the result of the fight.
Yeah, I apologized.
Ended up no, you did what you were supposed to do, which was fight another man.
And the fighters got jobs after that. The fighters they cared, but didn't really. They got fights or other
They
organizations.
didn't nobody came to you ahead of time and was like, "Hey, you gotta
Yeah, we'll pay you.
yeah.
That's. I mean, it was obvious. That's why. That's why he offered me a knockout bonus. He was giving me the eyeball. I'm like, look.
No, I thought it would go the other way. I kind of thought it would be like, hey, since you're stepping in, just remember.
What?
I was doing hand motions.
Yeah.
Just give you
I mean, yeah, that's was kind of what was happening, really. which is why he's like he thought I was gonna get knocked out. He didn't want me to take him down.
Yeah, he wanted you to stand
So
up.
he gave you
reminded
the
me-
incentive
Yes.
to
Stand up.
That makes sense.
He reminded me that Kimbo had bad. He's like his knees are bad. He said that. I don't think I've ever said that before actually. He did say that to me. He's like, his knees are bad, so I don't think he wanted me to kick him in his legs or something.
Inside information.
Well,
Yeah.
It's too late now. It's way far after.
because they didn't want the boy. Everybody came there to watch Kimbo Slice, bare knuckle box another man, and
You don't get enough bozo muscle fighters.
You're right. Two
like-
bozos
I'd like-
fighting. You didn't have a full
It was
bozo
a
then,
double bozo.
but if you
Bozo.
did,
how
that'd be
much?
awesome.
How
It
much?
wasn't full. It was going.
How much How much to right now have you grow Kimbozo? Kimbozo.
Tom Lawler tried to.
It's
pay
called a
me this.
Kimbozo.
Tom Lawler offered me a lot of money to grow that out. And
How much?
I
How
don't
much is
remember.
a lot?
I don't remember how much it was. It was
What, one Bitcoin.
It was like 20 grand or something.
One
like
Bitcoin.
But all those people that were hoping to grow that league that folded after you knocked them out, like think about
It was done.
I mean, it could have been dozens to more than that. Like people that had their they probably invested a ton of money and they're like, oh, this is good. Like
Yeah.
this
that.
guy.
It was CBS forgot. Nobody was on CBS. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
huge.
But-
yeah,
and-
that was huge.
And then all the fighters under Kimbo, they were like, "Oh, I'm up next." It'll be like backyard. We'll combine these backyard fights with MMA, and then
Yeah,
like
legitimizes it.
YouTube will make them famous. It's kind of like it's a marketing technique that like Conor McGregor and other fighters that have poured more into like their influence rather like obviously they're good fighters, but they know it's the popularity that makes the money, right?
He's super insane right now, right?
Connor.
Yeah, I think he's like on a party binge,
Yeah,
and he's not
he's
seeing
on
his family, and he's like wild, just
Yeah,
like
he got puffy.
yeah, he's puffy and
Dude, he's
drunk
all juiced
and-
up. puffy,
Yeah, and then
coked-
all he's doing is
coked up.
riding in his green Lamborghini boat everywhere. It does look fun. It's fun as fuck though.
It's exactly what you want it to be, though, right? You don't want it to be a normal family dad
Yeah.
like us. You want him to be coked
Lamborghini-
up
yeah,
on
in the
on
Lamborghini
tea in
boat.
a Lamborghini boat. He's giving us what we want.
True.
Like, that's what you want Conor McGregor to be. I
Yeah.
hate it when they're the opposite. You're like, oh, he's a family man. He keeps it quiet. I want Lamborghini boat. Coke.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, that's better
Have
entertainment
you met
for
him?
us.
You met him, right?
Yeah, I met him.
Is he
Not really talked to him.
like or just like hi?
Just
hi,
hot, just basic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I never got to see his personality, his real personality. I don't know. I mean, unless that is his real personality, how he acts.
I think Lamborghini boat is the
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
I think that's the authentic guy.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that to your family? Like, you have a family now. Why
Yeah, I
would
couldn't
anybody
ima-
choose
yeah, I
to do
couldn't
that?
imagine, yeah,
yeah.
that'd
I
be
mean,
nuts.
it's not. That's wild.
What's Dana White doing? He's on the T, right? And
he's. I think he admits it that he's on. He's on the T and stuff.
TRT.
You ever watch his slap promotion? You guys ever
So
watch that?
fucking
Have-
awful,
have
man.
you
I
seen how-
comment on a lot of those saying how this is. I never comment on it. I always say it. I'm like, this is trash. Whatever. This is horrible. I comment on video. I think about what I want to say on videos, but I don't because I don't want to ruin myself. But on Slap, I always be like, this is awful. This is garbage. These are not athletes. Stop promoting this shit. I hate that. I hate that they're promoting Slap.
It's
It's dying on the vine too. Like
I hope
apparently
so.
he's
not
just-
even entertaining.
Well, he's
No.
losing a ton of money. He thinks
Good.
like he's lying, like he's having to pump it up to like he's having to promote it, right? And what's the biggest thing we know when people are promoting like over promoting movies? It's shit.
It's shit.
Yeah, so he knows
See,
the
there's
shit.
the new
Everyone
one.
knows the shit.
There's a new one that I like, leg kick version of it. Have you seen the leg kick version of
No.
it?
Should I Google this?
That's cool
What's it
because
called?
then you can't get any fucking CTE from that. I don't remember the name of it.
Can you break people's legs?
Yeah, you're shin kicking each other's legs as hard as you can. One person goes, the other person goes. One person goes, and whoever gives up first. It's
Oh,
awesome.
no, it's that leg kick
Leg
version
kick.
of the slap fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slap fight, it's cringy to watch because the people that are slapping each other into CTE land, you know, aren't making any money. So at least when like you see your professional athletes get concussed, you're like, well, he made $30 million last year,
yeah.
But these guys are just like
There you
they
go.
go
They
back
just
to
have
work.
They each have
Okay.
to stand in a spot.
So it's low kick championships.
There you go.
Hold on, let me,
I would do this.
Let me pull this. Let
I
me
got
pull
a
this
decent
up
low kick.
for everybody. Hold on here.
Seth,
Low-
if
Oh,
I
and by the way, sorry to go back to the Vice thing with Kimbo.
Yeah,
2 months before that, the bare knuckle guy or the celebrity boxing guy reached out to me again. I was like, dude, I will fight Kimbo's son again. I'm like, you tell me when. He's like, how much do you weigh? I told him my weight. He's like, I'll get back with you, and he hasn't got back with me still.
oh, no,
So,
so
that's still I still keep throwing it out there.
Kimbo's son was in that
I
Vice
know.
documentary.
Yeah, I know.
What did he say?
He was just talking about how
nice
his
of a
whole life
man.
was ruined because of Seth's actions.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, like his
Did he
entire
say that?
family.
Does he really say that?
I don't know. I didn't
Well,
listen to
it
him.
was the beginning of the end, and like he went on Ultimate Fighter after, and they mentioned that like like Dana White got him on Ultimate
Would you
Fighter.
be
and
able
they
to
didn't
go
do
full
anything.
heel and be like, look, I murdered your dad,
Ooh.
and I'm finishing the job with you, motherfucker. Can you do that?
That's how you sell the tickets.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you do that? Are you able to be able to do that? Now
I
that you have a
probably-
baby.
I know that's hard to do now.
You have
I
a
know.
baby now. You're not going to be able to do it.
I know.
It's going to have to be all fake.
Hold
It
on.
depends on the money. I might be able to do it for some money.
Hold on. I've put on enough events at this point where I'm a goddamn professional promoter,
Yeah.
right?
You're like Castleberry Don King.
We talked about this. You talked about trying to set
Am
it
I
up.
allowed to do the Castleberry thing again? Is that back in 2025? Castleberry King? You're Castleberry Don King.
I could reach out to
You're
Kimbo's
dumb
son.
king.
I could put you
What
in
are
an
you going to say to
octagon.
him?
Just give me a
Pitch me. Give me the pitch.
Give
Give me the pitch.
Well, I could do it at OLE. They have Seth's fought there before.
Isn't that a church
Yeah.
now?
yeah, but they do events on the weekend.
Okay,
or
all
whatever.
right, fair. We do it at Tuffy's.
I think we could fill the place up. We put a couple.
We can do it on my beach. Just have like limited access, like $10,000 a ticket. Have a real exclusive.
Whoa,
No,
hold
we
on,
need
hold
more
on. No,
people.
I like this. Battle on the beach, boat
No,
parking.
too
We get a
little.
bunch of boats out there,
Yeah,
like fire festival.
No,
We get the
Make
super
use-
villains to play drinking tonight.
Make my house make me some money.
we need to fill up a venue.
Okay.
And VIP is where you make your money. I know what I'm
We
doing.
get all the influencers around
Just-
Central Florida
How
to
much
show
you-
up.
Just give me enough to build my dock, and I'm good.
So what do you need for that?
52K.
52K.
Oh, I think we
can
can do. That's the purse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I need.
Why don't no? You know what's even better? Why don't we just make it a dock? That way, if Kimbo's son wins, he gets a dock. I think that's funny.
The prize is
battle
a
for the
dock.
dock. Who's got the biggest dock?
And he's like, I don't need
Yeah,
this.
it's a yeah.
We just put it
big
in
dock energy
He doesn't have.
contest.
We just put it in a backyard with dirt underneath.
We just deliver it
Yeah.
to Overtown or wherever you live. We're like, here's your dock.
Here's your dock.
We just put it in his front yard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're calling you Seminole County Dana White now. I like that. Dana real White.
What I want to
Dana White trash.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
he went from fat to being ripped now.
Yeah, so did Alex Jones. Have you seen him?
No, he's
Hold on,
ripped.
Alex. Oh, wait, we didn't play the kicking. Hold on.
Oh,
One
okay.
thing at a time. One thing
Sorry,
at a time.
sorry.
Here's our low kick. This is only low kicks.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
The
this
league is called Low Kick Only.
We have a Kyokushinkai versus a kickboxing MMA guy. And guys, this is low kicks only. So imagine power slap, but low kicks. Better for the brain.
So
I
Kyokushin's
just
a
hope they
really
don't
strong karate
accidentally
style.
hit the knee. So here we go.
It's almost like a kickboxing style.
Oh,
was
that
weak.
Kyokushin low kick. Let's see
Kyokushin.
MMA guy go for it.
So you're kicking in the
Kyokushin
thigh.
people really train how to see that. Notice how he braced for it. He put his weight into it. So I think
See, I need to know the
Kyokushin guy's
rules.
actually going to win.
I didn't know if you can.
He's kicking a little
if
too
you can
close
brace,
to the
if you
knee,
can push
man.
forward, like you're
It
supposed
looks
to
like you're
defend it.
supposed to kick the thigh. Okay.
Now,
All right.
just to give you an
This
idea.
is the
of how-
most boring
Well,
shit
this
I've
is a kind of a
ever
crappy one.
seen.
There's a really good. These are like old guys. That looks like me in the 10 years. But there's another one that's really they blast each other's legs and they're done in like one shot.
So Seth, do you think if I stood there and you kicked me, you gave me a leg kick as hard as you can, that it would
Oh, you
crumble
cry.
me, right?
Oh, I think it would hurt you real
If
bad.
you don't brace, if
I
you
wouldn't
don't know how
cry.
to brace for
Crying
it,
for baby.
I think if you just stood there like you're normal, like just like you're like, oh,
Then
you
it
know,
would-
mouth breathing
Yes.
self, and then he just like wham and kicked you right in the leg. I think you're gonna be like, yeah.
Oh, well,
you
yeah.
definitely fall. I think you'd fall to the ground and
Yeah.
and
It-
grimace and
It may. I mean, you have a slight chance of breaking my femur just because
Weak.
I have not.
Oh, if he hit mine are like powdered toast. I mean, you kick my legs and they just shatter like glass.
Could you break my femur by doing that?
yeah, you can. The more likely rupture the muscle, like your muscle, your quad muscle, probably tear that. I feel like that would happen.
Yeah, because
easier.
I've seen you kick a baseball bat in half, and so
Yeah, but those fat guys on Oos TV do that too. The fat guys on what is that?
Power baby.
Oos Power
Oos
Baby.
Power.
I'm addicted to it. I can't stop watching it. It's a bunch of fat bikers,
It's
and
so
then they
bad.
go like there is a culture of people where fat bikers take like all kinds of martial arts, and then they go through these belt farms and are just handed belts. And then they show up at like a massive competition where everyone there is a fat shitty karate biker,
Yeah.
and they all pretend to be good at karate while they're breaking boards all day.
Yeah,
We've
And
talked
it's a
about this on
fucking
the
thing.
We've talked about this on the show before.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's so bad. It's so embarrassing.
What I'm disappointed about is that, and it seems like this went away, but there, and you could find the videos, and we talked about it before, but the energy guys and the guys that claim to have supernatural powers.
The fat Russian guy in the chair is the best.
Oh yeah.
He looks
that
like a
guy's
teddy
awesome.
bear. Like
Yeah.
I like that guy.
He sits and just gently guides them down to the floor.
He
where he's
definitely
sitting
looks
and
like his name is like Yuri.
But there's a new one I saw the other day, which is like a skinny, nerdy looking guy
Okay.
that looks like
Coach of the Miami Dolphins.
No, he's some sort of karate guy, but I guess he
Long hair.
He made some claims that he through like certain techniques and stuff, he's got the power to deflect things, and he's like, and so he set up a fight, or like someone like wanted to prove him wrong and put up a bounty,
A
or whatever,
challenge.
and he accepted, because normally they'll never, because in the back of the mind they know, but this guy did, and this MMA guy just hit him a couple times so hard that the guy literally he just gave up. He's like, I'm sorry.
You know what? I should have done. You know what? I'm gonna go back to being a normal person.
But he went into it.
Believing it.
I think believing it, which is crazier to me.
Or
which
do
is
you
like,
think the person there is an offset chance that the person that challenged you is also faking? Maybe you're like,
yeah.
well,
Maybe
I
you
really
can beat
hope
him.
that this guy is. No, but you think maybe this guy's pretending to really be an MMA guy, like I'm pretending to have like the chi or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm also disappointed that in a day and age now where you could watch anything on the internet and then it doesn't have to be regulated, and like it could be from a different country and we can consume it, right?
Yeah.
That there hasn't been someone who's put together like interesting fights that we've always came up with, like who do you think would win, a fat karate master versus
This is what ChatGPT is for.
a new like fit young MMA guy that is only a year in.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
This would bankrupt our show. We'll never be able to ask these questions ever again because we would have definitive answers.
But then putting him in a ring and then broadcasting on the internet, I would feel like that would get huge numbers, or would it not? Because it's always the obvious answer. Like when we saw,
Didn't they have something similar to this where they had like an airplane and then they're like, can an airplane be pulled by 19 chimpanzees? You remember that?
Well, that
you know
was
what I'm talking
something
about?
like that, yeah.
And I it's probably extreme animal abuse, but for some reason I'm remembering that.
they did animals versus humans at the time. Remember, they had little people race a camel.
I'll watch that fucking all day long. I will watch.
The Japanese show had like insects fighting each other, like big rhinoceros beetles fighting
I will
dung beetles.
watch little people do anything. I will watch little people do anything.
But you would think that we'd have more fighting shows, or maybe it's
Oh shit! Kupo J in the chat room nailed something that I actually did enjoy. Deadliest Warrior. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, I do. It was but they didn't really fight though, right? It was just
It was
more
about-
like the concept of a medieval knight versus samurai, right?
Well,
is that it?
Well, no, I don't think so. The one that I remember was almost like they were all tribal and they did sort of fight.
Oh.
And it was more of like almost like American Gladiators meet Survivor, where you were trying to
see whose skills would
like
be.
throw a spear, but
okay,
they did
that's
spar. I think Kupo refreshed my memory, but yeah, I thought that one was really, really cool. There's been a lot of stuff that I thought was going to be cool, never caught on.
No, I know.
Lots
I
of
know.
stuff.
And then it also, maybe we've just realized in entertainment that people that are not really skilled at fighting is unentertaining.
No, you were
because,
right.
because they just don't know
You
what
were
they're doing.
right. I think the chat room's correcting me. It was all like CGI. Yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have to go back and check that out. Yeah,
But there is the thing that you said too. I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, like all of those shows, I enjoyed those type. I used to like Fear Factor. You know, like we were talking to Michael Yo earlier this morning. By the way, go back and listen to that. He's a funny dude. But like I used to like that show. But I just think the concepts, it's like we know of all these now.
And there's just too much.
It's fucked out.
And people aren't searching it out, because if they were, Mr. Beast is essentially doing it. Like he just did you see that goddamn mini city he built for his Beast games on Netflix?
I have our friend Rebecca. Well, hopefully I can say that. She worked on that show, and I want to try and get her in here to chat about it. But after everything that he's been through the last couple of years, his NDAs are pretty substantial now.
It is those games against each other are super popular, but I guess the super obscure Fear Factor style is too.
Well, it was just so new, right? It's almost like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, remember when Real World came out and we were like, holy shit, it's a show where they don't know that cameras are there, or maybe they did. Well, I think I would convince myself they didn't know it, and then like we get to see it.
Right.
Like it's
everyday life.
All that stuff's been kind of fucked out for me. So like I'm almost in a weird spot where competition shows, even if they're fake, I don't want to watch. I think that's why I'm like, I don't want to watch Squid Game. I don't want a competition show.
Just because
everything is competition shows.
There's so many.
It's like even if it's a fictional competition show, it's like I need something different.
Also, not the type of show for an anxiety man. Because
actually, I like it. I like the first season. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, but it's all anxiety.
Correct.
You're fucking playing for your life.
Number one anxiety, though, even over Squid Game, the bear. The bear is a hard. The bear's a fucking hard show for anxiety people. You watch the bear?
No.
Put that on. Try that. That's your homework.
No, I don't know.
You'll laugh.
All they're doing
like,
is yelling at each other, ultra high stress. They're just screaming F word at each other every other. It's like, goddamn it! It's all the whole show from start to finish is stress and them screaming and they're screaming at their family.
It's hard to watch shows now at night. I used to love that. It's the time to relax, is sit down, watch an hour of TV before I pass out.
What do you do now?
Now Vera's next to me crying until she falls asleep, and I'm so tired.
And you're crying until you fall asleep.
Yeah, and then I do. And then Tracy watches me cry to fall asleep, and then she falls asleep.
Oh, poor Tracy! My God,
I've been watching.
Tracy
Silo,
needs to talk
though,
to Andrea about their support group.
Oh,
because Tracy's going down that road. She's going down a dark road. She hitched herself to a rotten wagon. And that's what happens when you hitch yourself to a rotten wagon. You are tortured.
How's dad life?
You're talking like
now?
Oregon Trail wagon, like I caught dysentery.
Yeah, double dysentery.
What's that? How's what?
Dad life.
It's good. I love it. It's fucking the best thing ever. I got her her first karate gi. It came in yesterday.
Yesterday?
It came in yesterday. I put it on. I had to roll the sleeves up about 15 times, but it fits everywhere. Like it fits.
Yeah.
Now, before it couldn't fit. Now it fits, but it's just long. So yeah.
Have it tailored.
It was really cool.
You could just
You have the chance to indoctrinate her into karate to the point where
I'm gonna groom away.
Yeah, because it does work.
And she's Asian.
Which
I feel like helps.
It's in her blood. Oh,
I feel like that helps.
That's the
right?
guilt trip. I'm like, this isn't your blood. Your ancestors.
Exactly.
Your ancestors would want this.
We're on the same wavelength today, dude. Exactly, because now you can it's almost like a visual representation of the entire culture.
Yeah.
As a dumb whiteo, I can't say anything. I can't look at Maisie and be like, the Dennises are known for dance.
Right.
You come from a long line of dancers.
Because people get the wrong notion sometimes, and even I made fun of it, like, I hope she hates karate when she grows up, just so it gets you. But
she might.
She might. She might.
No,
but I want her to do something.
Not if you spend your entire life indoctrinating her into karate.
But he has a wild card. No, he has a
Tiger
wild
Woods'
card.
dad.
He has a very important wild card. She is seeing her mom in a karate gi.
Yeah.
So the image of the woman that is her most important woman is a woman in a karate gi. That's the best indoctrination you can have.
Like both of us, you mean, doing it?
You matter, but don't get me wrong. But the mom is the most important, and I think that Vera looking at your wife in the gi, that's a bigger deal. Like seeing her mom do it.
See, I'm just worried about that's what. If that's the case, then Daichi and Miko, my instructor's son and daughter, they would still be doing it now, and they don't want to do it at all.
Oh, okay.
They did it till like 18, 19, and then it was.
But did he indoctrinate hard enough?
I don't know. I wasn't around that time to see how he did it.
Because I don't think back then, we're talking 1980s
so you're thinking
dads.
you can really get to work on it.
1980s dads didn't spend enough time indoctrinating.
Yeah.
They're like, we're keeping them
bowling
alive.
and smoking.
You didn't do that much. But you are 2025 dad.
Yeah.
You can spend all your time in indoctrination.
True. She can grow up at the dojo.
It will work.
She'll literally be babysat by performing in classes. You know what I mean? Like,
Which she does every Saturday. She's babysit at the dojo, and
oh, it's gonna happen.
Like-
she's already running around the floor.
oh, it's gonna happen.
Like I eat ribs with this dude's neighbor that kidnapped those girls.
He was good at karate.
No, they will never be the same. That's why we never hear stories about them.
that's
It's
bad.
sad
It is
to
sad.
even this far removed from that incident. Like their mental growth is stunted and traumatized.
They'll
and
never have a karate gi.
Well, it's just like that screwed their brains up so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can actually just hardcore indoctrinate someone into loving something, or at least having some sort of crazy passion for it.
Right.
And I think it's
I just
Chat
hope-
room chiming in on the last OG show. Dan asks Seth if he tucked Tracy in after sex because of how young she was.
that's fine.
And it's fun to think about her becoming his wife and mother to his child. Here's a fun fact of something horrible I said.
It's fucking-
Thanks, chat room.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
so
I waited till she was 21.
Hey, so did I. Better that way, tighter.
On a unrelated topic,
Yes.
but it's topical because it's all over the internet. Did you see the story about the Eagles fan yelling curse words at some other fan in the stadium the last game? I don't know if that's in your
No.
algorithm. It's weird.
That's
because
not no. Unless it was the N word. No, it's not in my algorithm.
so the sports gets put in my algorithm a lot. So basically, this Eagles fan, and a lot's come out since where the people he was
I might
yelling
have
at
seen it, actually, I think.
was like the husband was wearing a GoPro,
Yeah,
and he's
this
an
one,
influencer.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know how much this really matters to me, in my opinion, of this particular gentleman. But yeah, so the new, type of details that I learned. Number one, the guy that came to the game, he put up a GoFundMe to get the money to go and get the tickets to go to a road game for his Green Bay Packers. So you're going into, quote, he called it the belly of the beast to do it. So, I mean, I guess some people...
he's got some followers that donated
Yeah,
from
he's like a YouTuber or something. And then also he was rolling with a GoPro the entire time he was there. So I guess the pushback from Eagles fans is this guy was going there with the full intent of antagonizing those of us around him to get somebody to be triggered and then cause an altercation, and then in which you could cry porn me and make a big
Create content.
and create content. So that's their
now.
deal.
Yeah, and maybe
Does he actually get punched or something? Like, what happened?
No, he just and maybe he did antagonize him, but the problem is this guy. I mean, the shit he was saying obviously is what caused all the repercussions.
I think
that
this
he
is the
lost his job.
uncensored one I have here.
All right. Because the guy came off extremely poorly, and the things he was saying, people like it didn't make him look. It wasn't just like what the fuck. It wasn't a normal back and forth.
He
It
was
like
doing that thing. I think like okay, so she's cheering because I think their player. Their running back got a first down or something, so she cheers, and then he like tries to correct her on like sports terms or something, and then he starts using some pretty terrible language here. So let me see if I can pull this up.
The runner was short of the goal line. They got one more yard though. They're close. Yeah, but they're not in. It's not a touchdown. Yeah. So you don't in the air. Okay, well.
So they're not in. They're not. They didn't get a touchdown. So you don't jerk off air. He was. I guess I don't know what that means.
But then he started saying, "You ugly." I think he's called her.
Yeah.
Oh, the C word for a girl.
Yeah, he goes here. We'll give it a little.
Don't call her a dumb. She's an ugly dumb. Cool. After the first quarter.
Guy looks like Jim Colbert of the Jim Colbert Show.
He does. He
So
does,
if we
he does
haven't
look
found
like-
this man yet, I would call my local radio station and tell that man to stand down.
So a couple things. This guy got fired from his job because this went viral and spread around the internet. And then some people are like, oh, he shouldn't have got fired because of some, he wasn't working at the time. He was just out.
Hey, he's on his off time.
He's on his off time.
Having a couple cold ones with some bros.
And then what people forget is like the business owner of whatever company he works for, he doesn't want, like, especially how viral this is, like one of his employees representing the company
Yeah.
or working, or even people finding out that he works for this company is like it puts negativity towards the business itself. So the guy, and I would venture to guess he's not that valuable to the company.
No.
So
well, they acted swiftly, so that should give you your answer. It wasn't like they molded over.
Right.
If you were super valuable to your company, I bet the owner would be like, let's give it a couple weeks, just lay low. It'll blow over soon because of the news cycle, and then, we'll have him back because they fired him. And I imagine that this guy...
This happens to a lot of folks.
This guy probably has a GoFundMe because he got fired, and a bunch of Eagle fans probably gave him a bunch of money. This could have been a financial windfall for him. We live in a bizarre society where the same social media got you fired which was caused by social media.
It happened to George Zimmerman. It happened to Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, you can have people that do things that are polarizing, and the people on the other end that you think the majority of people, and they're like, we'll take care of you, buddy. You're good.
This first happened, I remember, there was a mom that was like some chaperone on a bus field trip. Something like that.
Are you talking about the bus driver, the old lady?
Yeah, it wasn't.
They were. Oh, she was a chaperone, and they were teasing her, calling her fat.
Yeah, they were calling her fat or whatever, and then some kid videotaped it.
She was fat, though.
Fatty McGee.
And then
it was worse than that.
And then someone started a GoFundMe for her, and they raised like $200,000. Which I was like,
she's still living off of it. She's fine.
A financial windfall.
She bought 2 Bitcoin.
Because we have the ability to give these people $2, and then with enough people,
I'm gonna need that really. I'm gonna have a GoFundMe really soon. By the way,
yeah. And his job was to promote diversity and inclusion. And, everybody dug into his Twitter. You know what's funny though is the knee-jerk reaction of everybody on either side. Like even the Eagles fans. For the YouTuber that was, he and his girlfriend were being yelled at by this particular gentleman. Even that guy, you had Eagles fans that were going back and using Twitter's search tools to find what this guy said. And apparently he had a propensity in 2014 to use the F word for gays a lot on Twitter. So they're like, oh, look at this guy. Use the, what it's like? Like, he may be bad, but look what the guy videoing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's disgusting. It's like, it's gross, all of it.
Yeah.
Be nice to people.
It's bizarre.
It's weird.
The world we live in now with that you have and maybe this end up being a good thing because it'll kind of police everybody's
calm them down a bit
behavior. Although I don't think the people that have obviously anger problems, like you're arguing with another person at a sporting event, and you start calling her ugly, dumb cunt, and you're just like,
have you ever done that?
No, of course not.
I've never. I haven't gone that far.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, you're going way too far for some dumb fucking shit. But I bet that maybe people will be like,
you think
like someone's gonna videotape me.
I blew a straw in a lady's face once, like the straw wrapper.
That's kind of funny.
She butt me in line, and I was like, "Are you serious?" I said out loud, "I was like, what is this? Like, what's going on?" She just totally ignored me, so I unwrapped the straw and I go. I was like 19 years old.
That's assault.
I was 19 years old. This is like a lot.
No, I've never done anything like that. That's insanity.
But I say maybe people hold their tongue, but if this ends up being a financial windfall for this guy,
then more people will do it. You think?
Because that's what confuses me.
No, everybody I think agreed on this one. The Eagles fans that are defending him are, for the most part, I think if you really got in there and started dialing them down. The vast majority of them are trolls. Most people I know, they're even from Philly, that are Philly fans, are nice people. This is a weird. I know they have the reputation of that, but I go with your first analogy. I think across the league, that's why they take such a hard line to it. I think it does quell them a little bit. It calms them down.
But there were a lot of people that were angry he lost his job because of this, and wanting to defend, he may not have said, it may not have been appropriate that he said these things, but he shouldn't have lost his job.
Well, then you can get mad at the company. You can't get mad at the guy. He didn't fire the guy.
But that's what makes me think he puts up a GoFundMe, and the people that feel sorry that he lost his job, I'll give him $1. And then if 200,000 people, you know what I'm saying? 80,000.
Would you give him $1 right now?
No, because I don't feel sorry for him.
I would give him $1. I'd give him $1. I feel a little sorry for him.
Because, obviously, if
he has a daughter.
if that guy worked for our company, I would fire him too because I don't want that shit around us because he looks like a horrible person.
We do a show with him on the show first before we fire him.
I've said some bad shit. You haven't fired me yet.
This guy's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Like he's like literally on Saturday he fires. I'm like, we needed a Monday show. We need to get him in here and yell at him real bad.
I'd do that first.
Okay, good.
I'd fire him on the show.
Okay, good. You need to clarify.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna pull the trigger on like a Sunday show.
Yeah, and then if enough people are like, "Oh, bring him back," I'll do whatever they want.
Put a MAGA hat on.
All I care about is the money. That's what
I know you do. I know. That's what I wanted to hear.
All right.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Let's take a break.
Okay. All right.
I got to go, so I'm going to say sayonara.
Are you going to the doctor?
No, I got to go to the Vera Manor.
Oh, okay.
I'm meeting 2 subcontractors there right now to go over stuff.
All right, Seth. Well, thank you very much.
Love you, buddy.
Sorry.
Love you guys too.
Good luck with it.
I'm sorry you have a slight B6 elevation causing minor twitching in your muscle legs.
I didn't notice that at all.
It also makes me have to, like, incontinence, and I'm going to have to pee my pants.
Okay, well, go potty. Go potty.
No, I'm going to see if I can do it.
Okay. Oh, don't pee on our couch. Well, you can. It's fine. Big Tim peed on our couch. So
I feel like I'm telling someone, like, I'm sorry you're dealing with eczema.
I can see that. I say that
minor inconvenience.
I say that unprovoked too. Like if I see people with eczema that I don't even know, I'll lead over. I'll be like, "I'm sorry, you're dealing with eczema."
All right, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
This is When the War Is Over. The name of the song is "I'm All Right." I think you will enjoy this. Is this the right? That is something that I wanted to do for 2025, but probably won't have the time. Teach myself how to play a pedal steel guitar.
How does that work? Is that
don't know. Would have to teach myself how to do it.
Is that like the guitar that Crystal's grandma was playing, like a steel guitar?
Was she playing it flat in her lap?
Yes.
Yeah. There's lap steel. There's pedal steel.
And then she has the little.
It's a little glass thing.
The fret.
Yeah.
Are we gonna call?
Yeah. I don't need it right now.
Hey, is this Cadillac Pat? What's on your mind, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
You know why? You know why I knew that was you? Your voice. I'm a detective. I heard literally. I heard 1 millisecond of your voice, and I knew it was you. What's going on? What's on your mind?
I got the Jordan card graded.
Oh no shit! Now a lot of people said. In fact, the last email I got about you said, "Fuck Pat. He's an idiot. He doesn't know shit for shit." There is an email. I'll have to find it. There's an email basically saying that Pat has the same card that every other fucking idiot has.
Oh, about the Jordan card?
Yep.
Okay,
I have one in here. I'm going to try and find it.
I'll just tell anybody that hadn't listened, we had Cadillac Pat on over the Christmas break. I believe it was maybe one of the shows the first week in January, and he brought in his Jordan card.
Yes.
That it was his prized possession. We were talking about how much money it could have been worth.
It might have been a voicemail. Let me double check.
Throwing out.
I was. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
No. I had somebody recently hit me up, Pat, and say like, oh, it's worth nothing. It ain't worth a nothing.
So,
wow, that's so mean.
I know it really is. People are
well,
mean.
they're jealous,
People
Pat.
are mean.
You know, they want to. That would be something I would say if I was listening to a podcast and then a guy came on. He's like, "I got this card."
Oh, I got it. I found it.
Okay.
Look, my memory is fucking working. Okay, Pat, just listen to this, Pat. This is what most of our listeners feel about you. Think about you.
All right.
Man, it was really tough to listen to Pat talk about his $1.45 Michael Jordan reprint. That it's without even looking at it, I'm 1,000% sure it's the reprint that everybody has. That everybody thinks, well, maybe this is the real one. I'm sorry, Pat. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry because I really love to destroy people's hopes and dreams. But without looking at it, 100% you could get that off of eBay for $1.45. Okay. Take care.
All right. So this gentleman sounds like he was super confident.
Wow, that is a real arrogant rednecky thugster. Did you hear that? I can hear that. He's a rednecky thugster.
Also, when he said I enjoy crushing people's hopes and dreams, I was like, what a dickhead. Then I was like, I think that.
Yeah, you're like,
I've said that before.
Like, what an asshole. I like this guy.
And then I was like, no, I didn't like him. Then I was like, maybe I shouldn't say that. People don't, but I say it nicely. Anyway, so Pat, you got it great. Who'd you go to?
I went through Beckett.
Oh, nice. Did you have to send the card away?
Yeah, and I paid like crazy extra to get it expedited, and like I had to go get it certified mail and get a receipt and and put a value on it for insurance and all this crap. But it came back an 8.
Oh,
God, all right, so, okay.
That's good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
What's it worth now?
I don't know, but I think it's got a couple. It says it's got 2 8s and 2 9s. So I'm like, shouldn't that be a fucking 8.5? But
it's a high 8.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So when did you get this graded?
I just got it back like last week.
Okay, so you had 1 week and you never searched the internet. I would be searching for hours.
He's very dumb.
He's a
very dumb man.
No, as soon as I got it back and I got an 8, I would search the internet and find out the market for a level 8 Michael Jordan, whatever.
I did it last week. I got it back 2 days ago.
Okay, I'm looking at it's the Fleer one, right?
You're not curious to how much money you're holding on to?
I am, but I'm also don't want. I was waiting to call you guys. I wanted to tell you guys.
Hold on, so we're finding out. Let's look it up for him. What is it worth?
Well, I mean, I got
a grade 8.
I got an 8 right here.
Okay,
that's $11,000. I got another 8 that's 9. I got another 8 I got an 8.5, which is 12, which is basically what you got as an 8.5.
Okay, so
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's about, I'd say, man, high end 13, low end 9. I mean, it's at least 10K.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like if you had, let's say you had a 9, like a true 9, like I mean a full 9, $64,000. But
I mean, damn it, I want to send it in again.
Then send it in again. But the more you send it in, the more
Can you send it in with some money and just be like, hey, give me a 9 on this one? Like,
I mean,
where would you even, Pat? Do you even know where you'd go to sell it? Do you sell it on eBay, the open market? Do you go to a collector?
Yeah, you go. I mean, I could go to. There's a card show coming up here in town. I think on the 28th. A buddy of mine told me. That would be kind of harder. Like, I mean, just hand-to-hand combat, sell it. But eBay, you just take your time and wait and wait and wait.
So, anyway, first, tell the guy that wanted to ruin your dreams to screw you.
Eat your dick. Yeah, say, fuck you, motherfucker.
Because you at least have a $9,000 card.
I found a 9.5.
Yeah,
what do you think a 9.5 goes for?
I mean, even
$77,000, yeah.
Like, even if you...
I found a 10. What do you think a 10 goes for?
No, I don't.
Well, the 10 is like $1 million.
Well, I have a 10 here, and it's pre-owned, and its starting price you have to bid is $500,000.
Well, I mean,
fucking insane, dude.
What is it? What do they even base the grade off of?
Okay,
The
here's
condition?
an 8. Here's a full 8, just an 8, not even an 8.5.
Yep.
15K.
Yep.
15K.
Yeah, like I said,
So it could be higher. You probably need to narrow your. You need to really. Does it have the number on it and everything, and it's in the little card case?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got everything.
Okay. Good. Well,
the problem is, Pat, I know in my heart of hearts that you owning this card and having it is
means way more
emotionally
you probably put this
significant
card
to
up
you.
your butt. You know?
And then the money,
like he's gay for this card 100%.
Like Pat's not a money man, which I never understand.
No,
like
which
Daniel's
is why
not,
he's single.
Like Daniel's not a money man
I'm not
either.
a money man.
And when I meet other money men, I don't really, I'm kind of like put off by money men.
Yeah.
Like myself. Like I don't like hanging out with
like
other
magnets.
money.
They reject each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm more of the non-money man, emotional.
If you liked a bunch of money man, that's impossible. You want to take all their money. You can't like other money man. I want to get all the money.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious to why money isn't important and why you don't just immediately sell this car.
Because he doesn't have any.
No. It'd be. He's got enough to what he likes and have. Like he doesn't need more.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's
like
not
I
poor.
always need more.
He's not poor at all. Not at all. But he does quite well for himself. But why are you not? You're never gonna sell this card, right?
No. Yeah. Unless all of a sudden I got offered like $50,000 but it's not worth $50,000. But no, I'm never going to sell it.
Can I petition for me to be put into your will? And because
why?
Sure.
I'm one of your longest friends that you've had, Pat?
Why'd you use air quotes when you said friends?
I didn't use air quotes.
Yeah. By the way, he doesn't have any adult friends. He says that for his friends should only be his children, and he doesn't believe in friendship.
And I'd like for you to put your valuables in some sort of
sock. Put them in
will,
a sock.
and then distribute them and add this one to the Drunky the Bear column.
What, you want the card?
Yeah. And I promise I'll take care of it. And
I want your pinball machine then.
Okay, you guys are in the will.
Because I'm into the pinball now, man.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about it.
Now, you got to remember, just jot it down on some paper because that's good enough.
And people put it in a book.
People think they have to go and do an attorney and do this whole thing. You could just write your will down on a paper, and most judges will be like, well, this is it.
And just sign it.
Yeah. It's better to do
I
video.
got to do like you guys used to say and get a copy of USA Today today, take my photo in front of it with the card and like my will.
I'm glad that you still say it correctly, too, USA Today today.
Yes.
I love you, Pat. I love you, man.
So
he still says it correctly.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, that is good news. That is the good news that we all needed going into the weekend. That no matter what, you're probably, at its lowest, the chat room's being realistic with you. At its lowest, probably $7K. Because
if I needed the money, like tomorrow, $7,000.
Yeah, because you got to remember, it's like listing prices and what people are paying are obviously always going to be different. But
now, will these things always appreciate, or do you run the risk of it depreciating over time?
You definitely run a risk. Cards are hot since COVID. COVID kind of resurged the card market.
What happens to the card if the player... so an OJ rookie card, is it disastrous or does it still hold some value?
Hold on. Judging by the color of Michael Jordan or MJ's eyes.
Yeah, he ain't got much time.
This guy's not living, Andrew's grandpa.
No.
So when he passes away.
He's got alligator eyes.
Inevitably, all these cards are going to skyrocket, especially the week of his death. I think
that's when you go.
That's when you say the market's the highest. People are going to clamor.
And you cash in.
Dude, you could get 15, 20, maybe. Imagine Michael Jordan
they're all
dies.
get scooped up. So, yes.
So.
What you do, though, you do boots on the ground locally. You find a card shop around here. You find some fatto that's got to have that card in his collection because it's hot.
Yeah, he mortgages his house for it.
Well, there's only one card shop in town. It's right by Tom's house. It's right next to Ollie.
They all are over there. They're all
Why would you miss it? Why would you? You could have just said it over.
We call that the flea market district.
You didn't have to mention it's right by my house.
Yeah, we call that Little Nassau. We do. Did you know Castleberry's the Nassau of Central Florida? I go there. When I drive through there, I have to bring my passport with me or my birth certificate just to get out the other side.
Oh, it's all wet with bats.
Here's a fun fact. Castleberry is the only non-island to have the very first Carlos and Charlie.
What?
So
no way.
I made that up. But it is a Senior Frogs. It's a Senior Frogs.
All right, Pat. Well, congratulations. You need to look through all your cards because you could have treasures. I'm sure you've got a bunch of garbage around there.
You don't think that's what he's doing? He's a lonely man. You don't think he's just sitting around his house looking through his cards? What do you think he's doing?
Well, I thought he was trying to find, how horny I get. I can't imagine Pat.
Well, you jack off 3 minutes and do the rest of the night to look through your cards.
Well, I'm going to bring him into the studio every other month when I'm there, and we'll just look through every card by card.
Yeah. We call it Crazy Man's Treasures.
Don't bring that here. I will not be involved in that.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
guys. Bye.
All right, love you, buddy. Hey, can we do something I want to do?
Yeah.
Can I be selfish for a second?
Yeah.
I want to go back to these old Mel Gibson tapes. Oh, God, I got to hear these again. So every once in a while, the first comment.
He's going to be in town.
On the first comment on the Mel Gibson tapes on YouTube, it kind of sums up how I feel. It says, quote, Martin Scorsese once said that the hallmark of a great piece of art is that you can come back to it again and again. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Mel Gibson tapes.
Well, it's kind of relevant. He was on Rogan.
And he's
not
coming to
too long
MegaCon,
ago, He's
dude.
coming to MegaCon.
Yeah, and everybody's like, you should get him on the show. Do we want to get this guy on the show? Let's listen.
Of course.
I don't work around in tight clothes. I stay at home for most of the time.
Wow, I can't find the breathing part. Damn it. It's intense, right? That guy's a fucking wild man. Well, anyway, he's gonna be at MegaCon if you want to get a picture with him. You can get old Yellowtooth to sign your picture. That guy's a wild man.
I
don't remember the N-word part. I don't remember that.
I do not either. I was shocked by that.
I don't remember that.
And
my wife says, I'm laughing because this is so insane. Correct. It's so bizarre, but there are points in there where it sounds like he's putting on a performance, and then in his mind, he stepped back and almost listening to himself that crazy.
He seemed manic and crazy when he was on Rogan, too. Did you see clips of it?
I saw some clips, yeah. He looked the same crazy Yellowtooth bastard.
It popped up like when he was talking about he's like, he's like, 4 of my friends had stage 4 cancer, and they took it off. Talking about some
You do a
bullshit.
good Mel. That might be your first impression. Have you ever thought about dipping your 2025? It's never too late. Give me a little more. Give me the huff and puff. Come on. Oh, he was good. I'm not even joking.
But he's doing that, and I'm like, aren't you sitting in a dimly lit room with?
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is wild. He's wild.
But
that goes on for 30 minutes, by the way. You can find that on YouTube.
The way he's talking is bizarre in the setting of, I believe, like, I don't know I'm sure there's producers in Rogan's podcast studio, but there maybe only be that one dude, like an old school. I don't know if there's more people.
Jamie.
But it seems like just like he sets his podcast studio up like to be a chill area. And when he was talking to Mel Gibson, he was like talking and responding in a way that is bizarre human behavior in this kind of setting. If you're like in a conversation
like
with
one-on-one.
Rogan, yeah. Where he's like super, like it's like a mental illness, which obviously he suffers from some sort of.
There's something wrong.
Mental.
Yeah. If you lose your cool that much when you're talking to somebody that you're supposed to love, you're an insane person. You need to get some help.
Yeah, like some chemical imbalance. Which probably is like, he may be on the spectrum of something which causes him to lose his temper and be crazy, manic.
I also believe
saying horrible shit.
I also believe it's possible to drink so much that your brain becomes like not helpful anymore. I think you're able to drink because I've seen people do it. I think you can change your chemistry in your body by just consuming alcohol so much where it's like you make yourself
you get delirium.
or you get paranoid. You get you get paranoid. I don't know why I was going to say it like that. You get paranoid.
But I know he may be a battle with alcohol and stuff, but I don't think this is the direct result of that.
No, I kind of feel like he's always been this guy.
Yeah, because there's been stories about Mel Gibson in the past, and obviously
he goes off about
this
Latin people, black people. He said like this
the anti-Semitic stuff with the cops. Remember, he got pulled over, and then he started blaming Jewish people for all this. It's like this is a crazy behavior. You start yelling about Jewish people,
but there's
when
a
you get
pattern
pulled
of
over
it.
a
I
ticket.
mean, you could say there's a pattern of it, right? Like you could make with him and like Kanye. You could make patterns of like guys that we once were beloved, guys that we once claimed were geniuses, guys that are always in control, guys that like kind of self-control their deal, right? And we like propped them up, biggest of the biggest, and then when they go crazy, they both hate the Jewish people. What is that? What's that all about?
Well,
it's almost like that foreign accent syndrome we talked about earlier this week, where it's like you hit your head, you wake up, suddenly you have a Jamaican accent. Like, why do they all go in that? Why do you go in that direction?
I don't know. And they live in
easy target.
I think they live. Well, they also live in the entertainment industry world at the highest level, and I think there's a lot of Jewish people in the entertainment industry, and then therefore,
he's so easy target because you're around a lot of people of that particular kind of person.
But Mel Gibson made a comeback after all this shit, and
he's gonna do the next, the second part of Passion, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
like I don't think he
was in that Santa movie and shit, and like obviously not as big of a star as he once was, but they're letting him do shit again, and people kind of overlooked all this. Like speaking of no one brings up the fact that he's yelling the N-word in these recordings.
I don't even remember that. Really.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I was shocked by it. I was like, God damn.
That kind of makes me, kind of wish I looked at that clip before I played it, to tell you the truth. But
well, he said it.
No, I know, but I don't normally cue up the old N-word. Hey guys, you're gonna love this one. I just wanted to listen to him heavy breathing while he's yelling at his Ukrainian block girlfriend. Like I very, very.
Wonder what happened to her. Like
she's fine.
Are they still together? Because it's like
better than that. No, I would imagine she got into trouble because this is like she probably wasn't supposed to have been recording this, right? And then it got leaked. And I would imagine that she
leaked it.
Right,
she recorded it on purpose. But I wonder what. Like where she is she married to another rich guy?
Oh yeah.
Did he have to pay her off?
I wonder if you can still see her pussy from the back.
Is he paying her alimony? You know what I'm saying? Like she's just
talk about that for a
live in
second.
a mansion in
I'm
California.
a big fan of being able to see the pussy from the back. I'm a big fan of that. Right? I think that's the original way we're supposed to see it, peacocking or something, right? Like I feel like you bend over, you see it. I'm like, all right, how you doing?
It's like a butt and a mini butt.
Yeah, I love it. What's better than a butt? A mini butt. All right, anything to plug and we'll get out of here?
Well, before.
Oh, you got something. Oh, this is where you drop a bomb? Oh, my God.
We'll end with Daniel's chirping coming back to haunt him because it makes me laugh. So our next door neighbor, they're where our studio is, there's a row. It's basically there's houses on top of us.
Yeah,
but
they call them live works.
All the bottom floors are all like commercial property, like 2 rooms and a lobby, right? You've seen our studios, exact same, like all down this road, both sides of the street. So there's businesses on both sides. And there's also residents and stuff. And then Daniel, because he's a chirper, I never do this, but
I check the mailbox.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. It's one of my duties I took over when Butler left. His only duty was checking the mail. That's a joke. Is checking the mailbox. So I get the keys, and if I have my car, I would at the end of the day, I'll drive to the P.O. box to check that. And then I walk out to our communal box and grab the mail out there. It's usually just a Uline catalog. That's the only thing we ever get. So I walk out there. On my way back, our next door neighbor, they have like a spa area. And the lady that I guess owns it is walking to her spa, and she's in full scrubs, and she's drop dead fucking gorgeous, like super duper hot, and she's carrying a bunch of like medical stuff, like some brochures and then like some lotions or something and stuff. And then so I was like, oh hey, is she, because she chirped me. And then she goes, hey, I'm your neighbor. And I go, hey, do you want me to help you? And she's like, no. Like, you're disgusting. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it was like, no. And then, like, because she said no, like, I felt like I'd fucked up because
through your chirping off.
Through my chirping off, because normally if you I don't think I've ever had, not that I can remember at 48, I don't think I've ever had a woman ever, when I asked to help, if they're carrying a bunch of shit and they're obviously encumbered, I don't think I've ever had a woman go like, no, I've got it, disgusto.
No, you took it like that.
I know, because I sensitive. But she was like, no. But it was more like a no. It was like a no.
Well, nowadays you run the risk of insulting a person. This happened with Sam a lot.
Yeah, it was like a ew, no. Thank you, chat room. Ew, no. It was like a ew, no.
When you offer a woman to help her pick up something or to carry something, it almost comes across kind of sexist, or it can come across that way, in the fact that
that's not what I meant. She was actually dropping her brochures.
Yeah. It's like, it's like throwing your jacket over a puddle.
Chat room is saying, I got it, Frodo. That's funny. That's very funny. I deserve that. So she's like, no. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's like, I'm your neighbor. And then we do that weird thing where she's holding boxes, but shakes my hand. You know what I'm talking about? Like she's holding like stuff. And then shakes my hand, which is weird.
Did you offer to shake? Because then if she's holding stuff, then
I think I probably did.
Yeah, then it's awkward. She's like, I can't.
Because she threw me off. I mean, she didn't this could have all been avoided if she'd have handed me something, right? And then so we shake hands, and I'm like, I don't know why I said this, but because she had thrown me off, my first chirp And normally my first, let's all, like, for those of you that don't chirp, let's all just, pop quiz hotshot. The first chirp's the most important chirp. Can't fuck up the first chirp. I fucked up the first chirp. You can't fuck up the first chirp. First chirp's the most important chirp.
It sets the tone for all other chirps. Yeah.
So I said, oh, I've heard good things.
About the business or
right.
Business, yeah.
In which she turns to me and says, oh, what are you hearing? And I'm like, oh, you guys have the best. You got the best stuff in town. You're doing the best things in town.
So you just said I hear good things as a nicety.
Yes.
Not you didn't specifically
I have
hear
never
nothing.
heard anything. I've heard nothing. I've literally heard fucking nothing about it.
She called out your nicety.
She did, and she's really hot. And I was like, and then she's like, what things have you heard? And I'm like, oh, well, you guys are,
a lot of good things in your industry. What industry is that?
Growing leaps and bounds, growing like a weed.
You know what? That's on the same level as what's my name.
I think you're rubbing off on me, man. I think you're rubbing off on me. I think we are becoming one. I think I'm like gifting things to you. You're gifting things to me, but only the bad parts. Because why did I do that? I'm losing my powers.
No, it's your anxiety.
I did it. I did
it.
The next day, I did it.
Chirps.
Have you seen the muscle people that live down the road that have they're like both models and they're together? The guy's like 6'6", the girl's like 6 foot, and they're together. They're gorgeous. I was walking home because I don't have a car. I was walking home the other day, and then her dog got out, and then she started talking to me. I didn't even know what to say. I was fumbling and bumbling. You can see her, but you know what? You can see her pussy from the back. I'll tell you that right now. You can see her pussy from the back.
Why would you say that?
Because I observed
these people are work next to us.
They don't listen. They don't listen.
Well, what if they
like
did
I'm
one
yelling,
day?
I can see her pussy from the back. Like I'm not. If they did, I think it's a compliment. I think she's a model. And then she's like, oh, I listened to that show, and the little guy that walked past me, he can see my pussy from the back. She's probably like, well, better than if you can't see it.
I'm always terrified that one day the neighbor is going to be like, you know what? Maybe these guys do. What do they do? I'm going to listen to the show. What?
What, your neighbor or that neighbor?
No, this sounds like anybody you were talking about.
No, I told her what we do.
No.
Yeah, 100% told her.
Well, is she going to hear this then?
No. You can't listen to this. Nobody listens to this.
All right, let's get out of here.
I am losing my powers, though. Hey, if you are part of our Twitch community, we are going to do a little Twitch pinball party. So if you're not part of Twitch, well, you're missing out. And you probably won't be able to make this one, but maybe you can join Twitch, like and subscribe, Twitch and YouTube, be a part of the community when we stream, and maybe you'll be able to have beers and pizza and play pinball very, very soon. Just go to twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live or YouTube @Tom and Dan Live.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you listening today.
Yeah, man.
And we'll be back on Monday for Monday's BDM show, an ACT on Monday.
Go listen to that Michael Yo interview.
Yeah, it was good.
And Best of ACT is out as well, so you guys have lots of cool content to listen to.